Hey guys, trying something new today with a little voiceover. I know a couple of you out there requested it, so here you go. I'm sure it'll get better as I do a little more of these. But today we're going to compare the TaylorMade JetSpeed 3-wood against the Callaway X Hot 2 3-wood. Both are 15 degrees from a static loft standpoint. Just a couple of initial observations here. Both good looking at a dress. They both have a darker matte finish. I personally like the matte finish. They do have some graphics on the top of the crown, which, give or take, some people like them, some people don't like them. Personally, I don't mind them, especially in comparing these two clubs. They're subtle enough. But again, if I had my choice with these two, comparing these two, I would do away with the graphics, but again, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about that. Now, my first thought at a dress when I put these clubs down, as you can see here, you definitely can see more of the face with the Callaway than you can with the JetSpeed. Now, I looked at this from many different angles, and it was very similar from each angle. This could have to do with the score lines, but also the face on the Callaway I know is square. And it does definitely set up a little bit more square, a lot more square than the JetSpeed. The JetSpeed definitely does look to be a little closed, which in general will take the face away, or the view of the face away. So this may help you, or may help somebody that is looking for a fairway wood that you can see a little bit more of the face at a dress. May give you a little bit more confidence that way. So another thing I'm including in this comparative video is the sound comparison. So I'm going to put together a couple different clips side by side, back and forth, of the two clubs at impact. It'll give you an idea of what they sound like. Again, it's coming through audio. You're not here. It may sound a little bit different in person, but it will give you a general idea of the difference between the two clubs. So I'll put that in here in a second. Again, personally, I like the overall look of these, and I would have no problem setting up to either one from a look standpoint. And the people that I've talked to, my students, they both agree. There's not one that really stands out as a wow, or one that stands out as being ugly. So take that for what it's worth. Again, I advise anybody to go and get fit by a qualified fitter. Take a look at these. Hit them on your own. Make your own decisions. Hope these videos do help you out and you get a little bit out of it. But at the end of the day, you as the golfer has to go and try these out, get fit, and make sure they are right for your game. So today's testing was done on a fairly cold day, like some of my recent testings up here in the Northeast. 30 degrees out. We're using range balls. Balls are not flying, obviously, the way they normally would. Just so you guys get an idea, we're hitting indoors to outdoors. Garage door is open, so we do see ball flight. We are measuring our data on the FlightScope Doppler launch monitor. And for this testing, we are going to be testing out the stock shafts. Both are going to be stiff flex. For me, probably just a touch soft, and I'll touch upon that going forward. But again, in general, these are the shafts that you're probably initially going to pick up. And they will fit a majority of golfers. But again, like I've said 100 times before, and I'll say it probably a million times again, go see a qualified fitter to make sure they're correct for your swing. And if you need to make a shaft upgrade or a shaft adjustment and you like the club heads and the numbers turn out great, then do it. Don't sacrifice a little bit of price for the quality of your game and the quality of your strikes of the golf club. A couple things I didn't mention about the clubs. Price point wise, they're both the same at $229 full retail. And also, neither of these two clubs are adjustable. So the shafts are epoxied into the head, and there's no way to move around the weight, so on and so forth, change the face angles with the head itself. Obviously, you can use lead tape, so on and so forth, but not like a lot of the technology that is out there. So it is a pretty traditional glued-in, epoxied-in head that some people still really like the look of. So like I said, the clubs that I tested both had these stock shafts in them. both stiff flex. The TaylorMade has the Matrix Velox T, which is a 69 gram mid torque, mid kick, kind of your core base shaft. Same with the Aldolator Blue in the Callaway. That was a lighter shaft. It is a 60 gram shaft, but again, the same similar torque and kick point or flex point characteristics as well. One thing I do want to point out, there was a fairly significant difference in swing weight between the two. TaylorMade's, I believe, was a D5, while the Callaway was a D3, and you definitely can feel that in your swing. So again, it goes back to getting fit. Make sure it fits your swing. Make sure it fits your transition. Make sure it fits what is comfortable to you. But again, comparing them side by side, there was a pretty noticeable difference. So I'm going to run the sound comparison part of the video here. So take a listen. I tried to put enough of them in there so you could definitely compare them side by side. But let me know what you think about this as well. So as you heard, there was a noticeable difference in sound. But as it relates back to my opinion, they both sounded great. They both sounded powerful. They both felt really, really, really good. So I personally don't think anybody would be disappointed either way with the sound or with the feel in comparing these specific fairway woods. But again, go out, try them on your own. Let me know what you think as well if you've tried these before. Now let's get to the main reason you probably clicked on this video. Let's take a look at the data comparison between the two. Now I know your eyes are probably going to be drawn immediately to the distance, to the carry distance, to the total distance to see if there was a big difference, at least in my swing with these particular clubs and shafts. Now there's no question the Callaway did carry a little bit further. It was actually 7-yard difference. And again, 20 swings each, relatively small sample size, but it gives you a general idea based on my swing what these two clubs are doing. Club head speed wise, even though the swing weight was different, I still posted pretty much the same club head speed, 100.8 with the Callaway and 100.9 with the JetSpeed. Now I hit both of them relatively solid, smash factor. Both of them were very high, with the Callaway being 1.48 and the TaylorMade 1.46, which are both pretty good for a 3-wood. Now, I'm not going to get into exactly what smash factor is today. I will put another video out explaining that. But basically, bottom line, it is your efficiency of energy transfer, or how well you hit it, or think of it how close to the sweet spot, so on and so forth. But essentially maximizing the energy from the club head speed to the ball speed. But I will do another video on that explaining it if you guys want to know a little bit more about what these numbers mean. Now, one thing I want to be really clear on, when you get fit, you're not just getting fit to see which club goes the furthest and which spin numbers are correct and which launch angle numbers are correct. You're getting fit to match your game, the game that you want to play. Do you play in windy conditions? Do you play in soft conditions? Do you want the ball to carry a little bit more? Do you want the ball to carry a little less? All of that goes into the fitting process. So on paper, this data is awesome because it gives you these numbers. And then you take these numbers and you match them to your game. And that's where the true fitting comes into play. It's really quantifying both ends of your game. Your actual swing data relative to the club and your actual game, your gameplay, how you play this game and the conditions in which you play under. And that's why it's so important to get fit on a FlightScope, on a TrackMan, so you can actually see the comparative data and then you can match it to what your game is like and what's going to maximize your potential. Now, some differences here. Callaway has a tendency to spin a little bit more than the TaylorMade. Personally, I like the spin numbers with the Callaway. I like the launch angle at 13.1. I love the height at 102. But again, if I'm playing on firmer surfaces, maybe the lower spin rate, maybe the lower launch, and maybe the lower height, maybe if I play in a lot of wind, is going to be better for me. As long as I'm hitting both clubs solid, as long as I like the look, as long as I like the feel, there really is no 100% answer, cut and dry answer when you're just looking at data. But you have to fit it to your game, what you want to see, what you want to get out of it. Now, someone may say, hey, why is that spin rate a little bit lower with the TaylorMade? Could be because of the head design. It could be because the face was slightly closed. Now, I did notice, which I don't have the data up here, that the dynamic loft, which is the measurement at impact of the applied loft to impact, was a little bit lower with the TaylorMade than the Callaway. Typically, when the face is a little closed, you're going to have a little less loft, which is going to take away a little bit of the spin rate. Plus, I'm going to be able to move the ball just a little bit more from right to left. And you can see at the end, the last data, the classification, I had a little bit more of a draw with the TaylorMade. Not a lot, but a little bit. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned a little bit. Comment below if you agree, disagree with what I said. I always love to spark a little bit of a conversation here. I hope I helped some of you guys out. Hope I entertain you maybe a little bit. I will get better at these as I go forward, hopefully. I will be doing a lot more. And if you want me to compare some specific clubs, let me know and I will do my best to do that. So please subscribe if you haven't yet. I hope to bring a lot more of these videos, so the more subscribers I have, the more incentive I have to produce some more of these videos. And again, go get fit. Don't guess. Get on a launch monitor. See your numbers. Make sure it matches what your game is. I want you to get the most out of your game. And at the end of the day, when you feel more comfortable with the clubs that you have in your hand, you're going to have a lot more fun playing this game because you're going to play better. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon.